waiting for. Please welcome the Pelbros Podcast.
Yo, what up, players? In his house, you know how it is. It's the Pelbros back up in this biatch, episode number 44. 4-4. That's 1-4 for me and 1-4 for my co-host.
Yo, James here, back with another episode.
Yeah, you know how it is. The Pelbros keeping it real. Yo, thought we were gonna quit after episode 1. Yo, even after episode 0, bro. Look, we're number 44, bro. We're just gonna keep on going. I know that last episode, it was quite depressing. It was labeled Pelicans are fucking shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't changed, but it did sound like we might have considered retiring after the last episode, but we're back.
We're back. Yeah, I mean, the Pelicans definitely over the past week have given us something to hope for. You know what I mean? There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You're like, don't jump off that ledge just yet. You can do it later, but not just yet. Because this week wasn't too bad. I mean, in terms of predictions, we did predict that we would only get one win. However, we were expecting that the one win would be versus the Kings. We ended up getting that win versus the Timberwolves, right? So, I mean, it was still, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was still 1 for 3. So we were right with that, right, James? However, the exact game, maybe not so much, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably saying we weren't going to win any of those games, and then we obviously bounced back against the Wolves. Looked like a bit of a revenge game. Minnesota were a bit off as well, so we'll take it. It's definitely a positive. It gave us a bit of hope, but yeah, I'd say that one win probably spurred a bit of momentum, even though we went and lost the next 3 games. Overall, I think it was still like a solid week. Like you said, we saw massive improvements, and at least we were losing by less. The margins became smaller and smaller. In the second week.
And that wraps up this episode. So thank you again, guys, for jumping on. If you like more of our shit, hit it. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Pelbros on YouTube. Hit us up on pelbrospodcast@gmail.com, etc., etc. We're just joking. That's actually the intro. Because basically, let's start with the Timberwolves game that we ended up winning, right? I remember I was like, yo, come on, James, we got to kind of win this, right? I don't know if I actually voiced it on the record though, on the last recording, but it's what my heart felt. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, as if we're gonna lose to the Timberwolves, how many times in the preseason, and then 2 different times beforehand, right? Before that third game with the Timberwolves, right, in which we actually won. But my kind of thing was like, okay, I feel as if this would have been a really good kind of moment for our locker room to come together, under the leadership of the great Willie Green, and be like, yo, this is a fucking team that keeps on beating us. We know what the fuck to do to win, to not lose against them, and if we can come together and get this W, it's gonna be really, really good for us. And we ended up actually freaking winning that 107-98. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with that. But I mean, I haven't been betting this week because I've just been like, okay, fuck that, I can't trust these guys. But after that, there was this entire week since, you can definitely see, because I know, James, between me and you, we've caught some of the games here and there, right? But the team is definitely different now. You know what I mean? The team, we've got energy now. People are, how do I say it? We've got Josh Hart back just recently too over the weekend. But in general, people are just what's the word I'm looking for? Grit. You know what I mean? Grimy. People are hustling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was probably added boost in energy. I hope Willie gave him a bit of a kick in the ass after that kind of rough few games at the start. But I think really the biggest thing is that they're really starting to gel a lot more.
Yeah,
and the players,
Valanciunas especially.
And definitely Valanciunas finding his rhythm. I think, like you said in the last episode, it didn't feel like a team. Because it was so scrappy in those first couple games, which is understandable, right? It's new personnel. You've got a starting lineup that's never really played with each other, but slowly and surely kind of finding some rhythm, especially with the rosters. And you can kind of see already Willie's kind of controlling those minutes. We're seeing Satoransky starting to not play at all, which is what we called for in the last episode. And we're just starting to see a bit more fluidness with the starting lineup. So yeah, bringing in Herb Jones to play a few more minutes and kind of provide that defense, even though his offense kind of sucks. But really letting JV, Nickel, BI really play off each other. So I think one thing is that
Devontae too, bro.
we've been really relying on BI to work really hard.
Carry.
And that, what I mean by that is like really fight, like really work for his buckets, really try to control the offense and try to play defense at the same time. So yeah, good to see these other three guys, those main guys, kind of pulling their weight as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say Valanciunas over, since the last time we recorded, he's like a solid, I guess, like 15-15 kind of player now. 15 points, 15 rebounds at least, or like around that kind of range now. However, since then, Nickel has actually fallen off, I'd say. I'm not seeing him, being as consistent with his scoring, because usually, Nickel is like, one of my betting favorites, bro. You can always rely on him to, get you fucking 15 plus points, but he's not really been hitting that. But like I said, Valanciunas has been at least 15-15, if not a bit more with the points wise. The only other thing I want to chuck in there, well, I think we'll have a proper section for Devontae Graham in a bit, but I want to say about Herb Jones, because in the last episode I was, shitting on this guy. I was like, bro, why the fuck we got these rookies on here and shit? But he's making me eat my words, bro. Like he's solid. I saw him in the Knicks game, right? He definitely made some. I mean, obviously we lost that. Like the Knicks game and the Kings game, even the Hawks game, I'd say they're all quite close until the fourth, and then we just kind of like lost it, right? But the Knicks game we had no BI, so that's kind of like even more like, wow, we actually like aren't going too bad, because we lost that 123-117. That was still a pretty decent game. But what I'm trying to say though is like, I saw like Herb Jones like pull his weight. He was making some like clutch plays down the stretch, right? And the main thing too, what I'm realizing too is this guy is what do you call it? He was like the defensive player of the year or some shit like that back in college. So I guess that's why he's the guy to kind of man up the defensive assignments.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely got the ability and he's got the athleticism for the defense. I think he's got like a crazy long wingspan. So it's definitely shown those moments of that defensive grittiness like you were talking about. And like we said, BI, Nickel, Devontae, they're not necessarily the strongest defenders. So having a guy out there, definitely a plus. But yeah, I mean, overall, like you said, maybe we'll touch on it at the end of the games. JV has been my shout out. He's just been killing it. Like you said, 20
over the past week.
Yeah, pretty much 20 and 15 each game. It's absolutely ridiculous.
In terms of shout out, then if we're doing shout outs, my shout out of the week is definitely Devontae Graham, bro. Like he's been killing it, bro. Like especially in that Knicks game, which I did catch like let's say half of it. We had no BI, bro. Yet we gave the Knicks game a freaking a good run for their money. Obviously, RJ Barrett ended up having his career high, 35 points that game. And ultimately hit the clutch threes to win that game. But we were still in the running of that game the entire time without BI, without fucking Zion. It's pretty fucking solid. So Devontae Graham was a big kind of, I guess, leader, for, I guess is the best way to say. He ended up being like 2 for 9 with the 3 points, but the threes that he shot mattered, like, mattered so much at the very end of the fucking game. So big shout out to Devontae Graham. Like, I remember you were quite a big fan of him, maybe not last season or maybe the season before that. I remember you on the podcast, you've even been like talking him up and shit. So it is quite interesting. It does kind of trip me out. I was like, oh shit, we got Devontae Graham in our fucking team. But I think he's a good fit. I definitely like him.
Yeah, he's. I remember catching that Wolves game and he came up with some mad buckets to kind of keep us in the lead in that game. So yeah, definitely I personally haven't seen enough of him on this Pels team. But yeah, like you said, I had been a fan of him before. There was that one year where he was definitely in MIP contention. I think he was probably a rookie, or maybe it would have been his second year or something. So just missed out, but definitely has potential. So yeah, I was definitely excited when he signed. Looks like he's definitely needs that consistency, but once he develops that consistency, he'll definitely be like a very solid starting guard for us.
Yeah, what could be very interesting too that we're not realizing is we're gonna wait for this guy next to Zion, bro. That's like game over, I feel. Maybe not, you're not going to have that straightaway chemistry like that Lonzo-Zion connection, but it's definitely going to be good because Devontae Graham actually scores. You know what I mean? Unlike fucking Zion. Or, I mean, unlike Lonzo when he was on our team, at least. But, shout out to Lonzo. He's definitely killing it at the Bulls. I mean, even Bledsoe is in Clippers. But apart from that, though, I do want to also shout out Josh Hart. Yeah, because I was worried, bro. I thought Josh Hart would be out for like a while, but man's just back in after a week, bro. So it was good to see him for the Kings and Knicks game. Which, yeah, I mean, and we definitely missed him. You know what I mean? I feel as if having him back on the team has definitely helped us to, I guess, what do you call it? Like, be more of a solid team, because when we think about, okay, what's our quote unquote young core, right? Like, oh shit, we don't have Lonzo anymore. It's like, well, it's Zion, BI, is that it? But no, we got Josh Hart in there too, bro. Josh Hart is like the glue, I feel as if, of the entire kind of like, I don't want to say the team, but man's out there getting fucking rebounds like a motherfucker, bro. Like, man's always hustling, man. Josh Hart, so big shout out to him too.
Yeah, I remember last year or even the 2 years before, like the previous seasons, he'd just pull up the occasional game and get like 20 and 10 or 20 and 15 or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, they weren't as consistent as you'd hope, but definitely providing that spark. And like we said in the last episode, because we've been injured in terms of those two guys, it just means that you got to give minutes to I don't want to say no names, but guys that aren't as good. So yeah, by having him back, you're getting his minutes in. You're making sure that your bench has some depth. And yeah, Josh Hart can be a bit inconsistent, but yeah, liked seeing him. He can occasionally hit the three, and that's all we kind of need from him: hustling, rebounding, and being able to shoot.
Yeah, and he's like usually like a solid 10 like how do I say it, like 10 and 10 kind of player, like 10 points, 10 boards. So that's mad solid for him, especially for a small man. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, I guess out of the games last week, so versus the Timberwolves that we won, when we lost against the Hawks, and then when we lost against the Kings and the Knicks, which games did you actually catch the most, if any?
I caught most of the Wolves, and then I'd probably say towards the end of the Knicks game. So yeah, I'd probably have a gap in between the Hawks and Kings game. If you saw those, you might want to touch on those.
Yeah, no, the Hawks game was pretty good. But basically, it just came like to the end of it, like Trae Young just like, because Trae Young was like cold for a bit, and we were taking over. But ultimately, like Trae Young, I think even John Collins had a couple of like just like, right, not even that, bro. I remember I messaged you, like the first thing I saw when I tuned into the Pelicans versus Atlanta game, I saw fucking old mate Gallinari fucking just dunking on us. I was like, fuck, bro, seriously? Or not dunking, but maybe just making a fucking play on us. I was like, fuck, so the number one Pelicans killer, regardless of the team he's in. But yeah, no, ultimately it just came to, at the end of the day, bro, like when it came down to the fourth quarter, it just came to us not being clutch as per usual. And then on top of that, but I'd say that's also because like we're a new team, right? As opposed to the Hawks, these guys just fucking caused maybe the biggest upset of the year last season. With how deep they went on the playoff front. So ultimately, that was the deciding factor. But I was just really, really happy to see that we actually made that a game.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying that the East have been stacked, so no surprise there. The Hawks pretty much fairly unchanged from last year. So like you said, the chemistry's there. They went deep in the playoff run. That's going to give them confidence. And I mean, when you're looking at those games, they get tight towards the end of the game. You're looking at those guys like Trae Young, the star level, almost superstar players to kind of take over. So yeah, no surprise there. They got a pretty good squad just overall. They're quite well rostered, to be honest.
Yeah, and I feel as if they're only going to be better this season too. Especially, I mean, yeah, they could make some interesting moves too. But I definitely see them in the playoffs, and I don't know, maybe because people are going to be, I guess, expecting them to be really good. Who knows? They may not have as much of a successful run, but that is also because of the fact, like you said, the East is stacked as it is.
Yeah, definitely. I can see this is one of Nikel's cold shooting nights. 3-14, 0 of 7 from 3. So hopefully, yeah, coming a bit of a chucker at times, but when he's hitting them, it's so smooth.
Yeah, and that was Nikel, not even just that game, but even the Kings game, and I think even the Knicks game. But yeah, that's what I said. Just this week, Nikel's just been having a cold stretch, I guess to say. But apart from that, though, I want to talk about the Kings game. I actually did tune in for it. I actually had probably like one of my top 5 like of all time like boxing sessions. Right, it was crazy, bro. But like it sucks because like the consequence of that, like the downfall of that is that you're just like chasing that high. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like fuck, man. Like I had never been so in like a flow state. It was fucked up. I don't know. Because you know, then the next day on a Sunday, I gymmed with our mate, the guy at fucking whatever, right? the mate of mine, right?
Yeah.
And then basically you know, I gymmed right with him, but even with the gym, I just felt so like, bro, like it's like, you know, I mean, I'm chasing this high, bro. I can never fucking reach, and even the next time I fucking train, you know, later this week, bro, like, will I really get that same kind of high? You know what I mean? Like just that moment of time was just bliss. Anyways. That's not the point. The point is, after that session, I quickly turned the TV on. It was me, one of our big fans. Shout out to our boy SJ, and then another guy of ours, right? Another mate of ours, right? So we put it on, and the other guy, he doesn't really like watch the basketball so much. And I was like, yeah, no, this is a game. This is a game, like Pelicans versus Sacramento, and it was a game. You know, third quarter going into the fourth, it was a game. But then basically, when there was like maybe 3-4 minutes left to go, I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm turning this shit off. I don't need to see this shit anymore. Like, because we blew it. That's what I can say. We blew that Sacramento game. But it was a game throughout, which I was very pleasantly surprised to see. And same kind of thing, I guess, with the Knicks situation too.
Yeah, I feel like talking about chasing a high, and that's what we're doing here on the Pelbros. We're trying to get back to those moments of glory.
Portland. We're trying to get to that Portland 4-0 sweep series.
Back in the day.
With like absolutely no one else on that roster in our current team. Wow.
Completely changed organization. Cool. Yeah, we'll touch on the Knicks game. I mean, my take on that game was, pretty surprised they made it a bit of a game. I think,
especially no BI.
Knicks did have a bit of a lead, at one point, and then Pels definitely fought back, tried to make a game of it. But what I saw from the Knicks is, it just really felt like they had so many weapons. Like they'd always have someone to go to. There was moments where in that fourth quarter, Kemba would take over and he'd score a really important bucket. And then, you know, we'd go down and miss one, and then he'd come back and Fournier would hit a three. And then RJ Barrett would go down and score some mad buckets as well. So this is like a almost refreshed Knicks team, I'd say. I mean, they had a strong year last year, but they were probably relying a bit too heavily on Julius Randle. But now with those other guys, they've definitely got more of a squad. And I feel like that's just what we saw, right? That we just saw that they had kind of those the better looks and the better execution down the stretch. And that's obviously something that we've always struggled in. But overall, I think, that team just looks like they're hitting on a few cylinders. So 5-1, I think they're at the top of the East. What was your kind of take out of this one?
Yeah, I mean, like saying what you said, like, you know, the Knicks are definitely a good team this season, but I was just happy how much of a game we made it, even without BI and without Zion. So that was really fucking good to see. Only interesting kind of take I can say from that is just, it was interesting to see Devontae guarding Kemba, because obviously, you know, they were, teammates for how long at fucking Charlotte. So that's quite interesting to see. But even with Kemba, I don't know, it's weird with Kemba. I don't know. I guess maybe because of his specific role in Charlotte, that's why he was such a crazy bucket scorer and everything like that. But ever since, you know, he went to Celtics and now in the Knicks, maybe he's not getting those kind of numbers, or even that kind of he's just not getting those kind of numbers because that's not his role. I'd say. I don't know if he's necessarily fell off. I don't fucking know. Just a weird situation in Kemba. I'm just happy we don't have Kemba on our team because I'd probably hate him.
I think injuries took a toll. But I reckon he'd probably suit a system where he isn't relied on as that 100% as the number one guy, which I feel like they probably were looking for him to be in the Celtics. I know they had two of the other guys, but when they needed him in those moments, he obviously didn't pan out. But a few injuries probably took his toll. But overall, I think like you said, the Pels put up a fight. JV had a massive game, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 rebounds. Sorry. Quick shout out to Kyra. He's been really bad, I'd say, this season. But he had a game this game. Just in terms of limited minutes, he still put up some mad points, 12 points, 5-10 from the field. Like, just very solid minutes, which is what we kind of need, which we haven't seen from the bench that consistently. And hopefully, this is a sign of things to come for him, at least.
And yeah, don't let our record of what, like 1 win and 3 losses this past week, or even our total record as of right now, fool you, because like this week, like the team that I just witnessed for the past week is a completely different team to the week before. You know what I mean? Like in which we were saying the Pelicans fucking suck. If anything, they've made us eat my fucking words. Like, yes, they do fucking suck still, but they're getting somewhere. You know what I mean? Like there's hope, there's potential. You know what I mean? Like we can, 100% bottom of the barrel kind of goal. We will not be the last of the entire, I guess, conference, but there is still potential hope that we could maybe sneak into the play-ins, especially if we get BI back on board, hopefully next week, right? I don't think it's anything too serious, but more importantly, hopefully we can get fucking Zion this month, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, I mean, while we're on the topic, and before you kind of make those predictions, which we'll finish off the episode very soon.
Yeah.
What was your take on that Zion video of him? Kind of, I wouldn't say practicing, but kind of running around on the court or dribbling, I think it was. Did you end up seeing that one?
Oh yeah, and you're saying like the man's like put on like all this extra weight and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like we've already known that he's already put on this extra weight and everything like that, and I'm always seeing like the comments, all these all of a sudden fucking, I guess, athlete experts and shit saying, "Oh my god, it's too much weight," whatever bullshit. But honestly, bro, like I just don't let it phase me. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck, like. He's still going to be fucking Zion. If he gets injured, fucking obviously that's not what we want. But we've got this whole fucking team to make sure he's not injured. So I like to imagine, especially since how we've been treating his injuries, we're very fucking like anal, very protective of him. I feel as if just let it happen. You know what I mean? If that's in his benefit to become more muscled up and shit like that, then so be it, right? But I just hope, I think the whole entire league hopes. It doesn't lead to any kind of disastrous injury or fucking major injuries later down or even sooner than it should be, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think I feel like he's probably still a while away. I mean, not to be all doom and gloom and stuff, but he didn't look like he was that kind of still early stages. Parts of him, it looked like he was kind of hobbling still. So yeah, who knows what the situation is, but yeah, I wouldn't get my hopes up on return soon. Sorry, Pels fans. I got to be the.
Oh, you're talking about that in terms of a return.
Yeah, negative Nancy. Yeah. But yeah, who knows?
I'm still hoping for a November return. And I mean, in the meantime, let's just hope we can get some W's here and there. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, once we get all the videos of him in practice, it'll definitely look more hopeful. But yeah, let's just wrap up this episode by going into the predictions. So, looking at the next week.
So next week we'll stop at the Warriors game. So it's only got 3 games this week coming up. Yeah?
Sorry, say again?
So the Suns, Kings, and Warriors, because Mavericks will be on a Tuesday, so that'll be kind of like the week after.
Yeah. Then we'll probably consider those 3 then.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about the Suns game, the Kings game, the Warriors game. So, Suns have been just as equally shit as us this season. We could potentially scab it, especially because we got Willie Green too, but I think that's an L. I think the Warriors is probably L. Kings, we should probably get that back because I feel as if the reason why we even lost to the Kings this week was because the Kings were riding on some mad momentum, bro. They just had some fucking clutch, game-winning fucking shit. I can't remember who it was, but it was against a good team, maybe the Warriors, who are red hot this season. But so how the fuck are us dickheads with 0 fucking wins to our name supposed to fucking steal a win versus these guys? But I feel as if because we've lost to them and it was a close game throughout, this second time around we should definitely get that W. If because apart from that, who the fuck else? We're not gonna get it from the Suns. I doubt it from the Warriors either. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say the last week probably predicted that if we were to win, it would have been against the Kings. So I want to say the same thing again, but man, looking at the schedule, we pretty much had a 3-game home stretch, and now we're going on a 3-game road trip, and that's Kings games are back-to-back after the Phoenix game.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that.
Exactly.
It's a back-to-back.
If history tells us anything about back-to-backs, is that we fucking suck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that back-to-back was that Knicks game we had was a back-to-back too, and that was without BI.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could definitely be running on some momentum. I mean,
but that was at home though. That was at home.
We technically have a 3-game break right now, obviously to get on that road trip, but man, my brain wants to say zero wins. But yeah,
Wait.
you know, based on this whole episode about being more hopeful and seeing improvements, I'm agree with you. I'm gonna say we're gonna lose to the Phoenix, Golden State as well. They're just too good of a team, and then we'll get the dub against Sacramento.
Yeah, I reckon Warriors might be some more like a blowout. Like we'll just get killed. Suns, I reckon, bit even. Potentially, we could even steal that Suns game, but I don't know. It depends if like the Suns are like, okay, no, fuck, we don't want to be like shit anymore. let's actually fucking start winning. So the Suns game is really up to the Suns. It's not really up to us if we can win that. But the Kings game, that's in our control. Like we can control our destiny with the Kings game, and I really do hope we do take that W. But yeah, I guess this is a nice little hopeful kind of change of energy when it comes to this episode versus last episode. Hopefully, next recording, we're going to be like, oh, we were so wrong. We went 3-0. Oh my god, yeah. But I don't know if I'm going to start betting anytime soon. I mean, I hope BI is back, right? BI should hopefully be back by Suns game. Any idea with his injury?
Yeah, haven't looked into it too much. Hopefully it's nothing. I think they're just being precautionary.
Yeah, and at the end of the back-to-back too, just sit the man out. Yeah, no, but I reckon let's just fucking wrap it up there. Then they're pretty decent recording, pretty chill.
Yeah, let's pretty much call it that. Yeah, like you said, bit more hopeful, bit more positive, and again, if we can go into next week talking about even like a 2-1 or a 3-0, then yeah, bless the Lord.
Yeah, so I guess all I can say to you guys, make sure you guys like our shit on YouTube. Just like watch our shit. Just keep refreshing it. So give us as many views as you can too. Apart from that, subscribe to us on YouTube too. Listen to us on... I mean, if you already listen to us, you already know where to find us. Apart from that, Pelbros on Instagram, we're on there. And pelbros.com and pelbrospodcast@gmail.com. Send in some voice notes. Even if you want to send in some goodies, some questions, whatever it may be, we're always more than happy to interact with our engaged, loyal followers. So yeah, I guess let's wrap it up there. Everyone enjoy the rest of the week, and if the Pels, don't have all your life happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment based on this Pelicans team. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, find some other hobbies, eh?
Yeah, find some other fucking hobbies. Yeah, or go for a different fucking team. Like, this is the Pelbros. It's pretty much a suicide watch here. So, don't do it. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you don't have the fucking balls to do it. So shut the fuck up. You weren't gonna do it anyway. Anyways, let's leave it at that.
Cool. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Latest.